Do you believe in ghosts or the unstoppable power of the ocean's secrets? You might by the time this tale is through. Today, let me take you to the year 1872, when a ship glided across the frigid waters of the Atlantic. A ship that carried no crew, no soul on board. Yet it wasn't a ghost ship, or was it? They called her the Mary Celeste. And few names in maritime history have captured the imagination, ignited curiosity, and birthed speculation quite like hers. To this day, over a century later, the mystery surrounding the Mary Celeste's voyage remains one of history's most baffling unsolved puzzles. Picture this: a sleek brigantine ship forging through the waves, her sails full, her course true. But when sailors aboard the Dei Gratia, the vessel that discovered her, furled her sails, stepped aboard, and called below deck, their voices only echoed back to them. The crew of the Mary Celeste, every last one, had vanished. What happened? Theories abound, some rational, some wild enough to break reality's limits, but all utterly fascinating. So adjust your compass and keep your eyes on the horizon, because where we're going, the truth swims deeper than any sailor dared dive. The tale begins in New York City on November 7, 1872. She was a picture of nautical perfection, a ship built to brave the oceans. Led by Captain Benjamin Briggs, a deeply religious and highly respected seafarer, the Mary Celeste had been tasked with a simple but lucrative mission. She would carry 1,701 barrels of denatured alcohol to Genoa, Italy, a cargo meant for fortifying Italian wines. Accompanying Briggs were his wife Sarah and their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, along with a crew of 7 handpicked for their skill and dependability. By all accounts, the voyage began uneventfully. Diaries recovered later revealed no storms, no conflicts, nothing amiss at first. But on December 5th, 1872, midway between the Azores and the coast of Portugal, the Mary Celeste was found adrift by her fellow merchant ship, the Dei Gratia. When her captain, David Reed Morehouse, spotted her wandering path, concern overcame him. Her movements were unnatural. On deck, there was no sign of life. When the Dei Gratia's crew boarded her, they found no one. But that wasn't all. The ship's lifeboat was missing, and so were critical navigation tools such as the chronometer and sextant. Yet the cabins were dry, untouched, and orderly. Food was even still on the table, waiting for a meal that would never be eaten. The Mary Celeste's cargo of alcohol remained almost entirely intact. So, where were the people? Naturally, theories sprang from every compass direction. First, piracy. An attack seemed possible, but why would pirates spare the cargo and leave behind valuables like jewelry and even cash strewn about in plain view? No, this was no act of human greed. Then came whispers of mutiny. Could the crew have rebelled against the captain? Again, the evidence disagreed. There were no signs of violence, no blood, and Captain Briggs, a man of immense personal integrity, had been respected by his crew. Besides, even in mutiny, someone would steer the ship. Yet, she drifted alone. Insurance fraud was next. Was the Mary Celeste orchestrated as a scam? Captain Briggs was known for his intolerance toward deceit, and for this theory, zero evidence emerged. So the question still burned: what terrible force had emptied the ship so thoroughly? That's when the speculation turned fantastical. Ship logs indicated rough seas, but not enough to entirely engulf her. Did an undersea earthquake, what scientists today call a seismic sea wave, cause sudden chaos? Perhaps, though not so likely that it explains everything. Others wondered about violent waterspouts forming unexpectedly, creating panic as they seemed to boil the seas. Or, what about the barrels below deck? Could toxic fumes from the alcohol have reached the crew, forcing them to abandon ship? Yet scientists later examined the Mary Celeste's barrels and found no unusual leaks. But here's where history takes a turn toward the eerie. Tales of ghost ships and sea monsters arose in sailor saloons worldwide. Some became convinced that legends of watery beasts weren't legends at all. Perhaps the Mary Celeste met a kraken. Others invoked extraterrestrial explanations, arguing the ship's pristine condition was suspiciously characteristic of abduction by entities not bound to Earth's seas. Why not, some said. After all, even the ship herself was said to bring bad luck. Superstition among sailors nicknamed her the Cursed Ship long before her disappearance, stemming from odd mishaps during her construction. Could a darker, supernatural force have claimed its due? Years turned to decades, but no definitive explanation ever surfaced. Nautical experts flocked to write their own theories, some detailed, others bordering ridiculous. Most leaned toward a plausible compromise. Something panicked the crew, a fire, a storm, or even fear of the barrels igniting, and in their haste to escape aboard the lifeboat, they paid the ultimate price. But even these guesses lack hard proof. A key detail reshaped investigations. No lifeboat was ever found, and since the days of Herodotus, history teaches us the sea often keeps its deepest secrets. So here we are, nearly 150 years later. The Mary Celeste rests forever off the coast of Haiti, where she wrecked in 1885 during a separate, ignoble voyage. Her bones sink further with each tide, but her story? It lives on in books, movies, and imaginations worldwide. What became of her passengers? What truth fueled the mystery? So many questions remain unanswered. The ghostly figure of the Mary Celeste still sails, if only through the legends we tell. As you reflect, think about this. The sea is vast, unknowable in many ways even today. Each shipwreck, each missing logbook, each unsolved disappearance adds a new chapter to human history's most enigmatic, epic tales. Maybe it's better this way, future mysteries lingering ever so slightly beyond our grasp, keeping us captivated, intrigued, and yes, sometimes a little spooked. So tell me, dear adventurers, what's your theory? Did the waves take them, or did they voluntarily step across some boundary we'll never understand? Let's unravel these mysteries together, one untold chapter at a time. Be sure to subscribe, because there are more tales like this, hidden corners of human history waiting for discovery. Until next time, set your course for curiosity.